gentlemen.
I'm Chris Benz.
And before we kind of start talking about the project, I think we should do some background. Both of us obviously are joining the Marines, and so we've already signed our contracts. We've gone through the entire process, and when you're doing that, we're in the delayed entry program because we can't leave until you have your high school diploma. So during this time, we work out, get physically prepared and mentally prepared. But a big thing that our recruiter tries to push on us is trying to recruit people because it helps him with his job. And to do that, we get like incentives, like you get a promotion or you get like free dress blues, which is our uniform.
The problem is trying to promote people is myths about the military.
Everyone we talk to has had some issue with like not wanting to join. They don't think they can do it physically. They want to go to college, and they're all legitimate reasons. But if they knew more of the truth about the military, then they would have been more likely to join. And so our big thing we wanted to try and do is just dispel myths about the entire military, not just our branch, but the entire military in general, to create better awareness. So what we did, or what we figured we'd do, is we did the fitness test, because again, everyone thinks you have to have superhuman strength, or you have to be in crazy, ridiculously good condition to join. And so we put them through one of the harder fitness tests you'd have to go through to join the military for any branch. And we had just random kids from a gym class come and do it, and they all did fairly well. And we also went around and asked questions to all the recruiters about myths and special things about their branches, just to hopefully see like someone might find some interest in one branch specifically and then be able to talk to them, and it might change their life for the better. So for the interview, it was just the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, and the Marines. We asked a total of 12 questions, all the same questions, and I think we picked about 4 or 3 from each interview, and a lot of them were just like, how many jobs are in your branch specifically? And each branch has at least 60 plus jobs specifically, and a lot of them talked about how it took they have enough jobs for an entire community, pretty much. Like as much as it would take to run an entire community. So like policemen, firemen, accountants, like everything pretty much anyone would think of doing that no one knows about. And we talked about all the myths they have for Air Force. They talked a lot about how everyone thinks you have to be a pilot, and in reality there's a lot of different things. Army was how everyone thinks they're the grunts. Marines was how they're the first ones in, and how they're just crazy about BT. And Navies, everyone thinks you have to be on a boat. And they talked about how in reality none of those are true.
Well, some of them are.
Some of them are saying yes, somewhat, but
Depends on what job.
yeah.
And then the combat fitness test, or the CFT, in the military we use a lot of acronyms. Movement on Fire is a 800-meter run or sprint. We prefer sprint. And then ammo canvas is just a 35-pound ammo can with, we use a brick and some sand to fill it in. We don't use ammunition. And then what it is, you have to bring it past your chin and then all the way up, setting it, and the minimum for females is 61. The minimum for, that's
The males.
the maximum, and then the maximum for males is 91. That will give you 100% scores. And then the maneuver under fire is a, like, I guess you could say an obstacle course. You sprint, it's, spans out to be a 110-yard obstacle course. You go run, and then you go to a low crawl, and this is all 10 yards. So sprint 10 yards, low crawl 10 yards, baby crawl 10 yards, and then you zigzag for about 20. And then once you get to the end, there's a person waiting. You gotta drag them, and then drag them around the zigzags, and then pick them up, go all the way back to the start. And then there's 2 ammo cans, the same ones you use to lift. And then you sprint all the way to the zigzags, zigzag around, and then there's a dummy grenade waiting. Throw that into a square, and whether or not the grenade hits, if the grenade hits in the square, it's a hit, but if it misses, you add on 5 seconds. And so after that, you do drop down, do 3 push-ups, pick the ammo cans up, and then you sprint all the way back to the finish.
And it sounds like a lot, but at the entire time you're doing it, someone's telling you what to do for each step along the way when you get there. And the entire thing takes anywhere from 1 minute 30 seconds to 3 minutes for the entire run, so it's really not that long.
Ronnie Taylor, he's a bigger guy, so you guys might know. He did it in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I think. So,
That's a pretty good time.
it's pretty good times. How did we do it? This is where, we called the recruiters from Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force. And what we did was try to schedule an appointment for each one so that we could interview them, give them the questions, so that way they can really think it over, think about what they would say. And then for the CFT, we talked to Mr. Conway, Mrs. Ford, and Mr. Taylor. And we also talked to Mr. Simon to see if we can get our recruiters and Marines to do it at the football field. And that's where we get our CFT.
Other than that, I mean, we didn't have a lot to do. I had to talk to some other people. I had to talk to Corbin to get his camera, and I mean, we didn't have a lot to do as far as like big tasks, like the interviews and the CFT were our big task, but trying to get everything together and filling everything out and trying to get the okay from everyone, that's where we had to spend a lot of time.
That kind of goes in with the troubles we had, like with the Navy days, we got in the day that we went in, we had a camera. But, Air Force, we had to reschedule twice, and then,
Army, we had to reschedule twice.
and then the Marines, we got on the regular, just like with the Navy.
And then as far as the CFT, we had planned on doing it very shortly after we had started the senior project. We had already kind of started planning it all out. And then we had issues getting the camera, and then we had to keep moving it due to weather or trying to get more people to come.
And then our recruiter was going to school, so we had to reschedule because of that.
And so we just kind of kept pushing it closer and closer, and we were getting really close to the end of the trimester, and we kind of had to get it done, so we'd have time to finish it, edit it all together.
And we had good luck because that day, it was pretty nice. Dude was on the field, so that was about it.
I mean, we had 20 to 30 people. They all seemed to enjoy it. And like I said, none of these people were superior athletes. They were all just your random people from a gym class, and they all seemed to.
We had one person that quit after the run because he was having breathing problems, but other than that, everyone.
He wasn't. He was running. He was running fast. It was pretty impressive, honestly. That's our project.
Is this a military thing?
It's called Parade Rest, and I've started to do a force of habit because they're starting to teach us now, like you do attention, then you go to parade rest, and that's pretty much how you stand at boot camp. So I've made it almost a habit.
What do you do with your hands? Okay.
You just kind of put them like this on the small of your back, and yeah, it's kind of a habit for me now. Everyone thinks I'm weird for doing it.
Any questions?
See, were you able to take any pictures or photographs or anything?
Yep,
during-
we got a video.
We have the video. We're showing it on the oil spill on Friday. I forgot to mention that.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions for these guys?
What about the interviews? You gonna,
Those will be in the video.
okay.
You can answer some of the questions about the military.
Yeah, if you guys have any random question, we can do our best. Yeah.
Why did you decide to join Buffy?
Me, because, I had a military family. My grandpa was a Marine. My great-grandpa was in World War II, Vietnam, and Korean War. So, military runs big in my family.
What brought you?
Marines. Me and both.
I had a lot of military in my family, but I've also grown up kind of wanting to, I always kind of felt like I owed something to the country, and I want to be able to like grow older and look back and feel like I've actually paid my debt to society and done something worth, making my life worth living, I guess.
What are some of the other reasons why people give for not thinking about the military as an option after high school?
Most people are, honestly scared of boot camp. They think, once you go to boot camp, you're gonna get yelled at, well, you get yelled at, you will spend most of your day, you get like 2 hours of sleep, and then you're just learning to take down a gun, build it back up, and then shooting, combat training, I mean, most of it is, but it's honestly not that hard. It's
Mhm.
not as hard as what people think.
The biggest thing I've heard is, because we have people come back from boot camp and they tell us all about it, you make it through the first 2 weeks, you're golden, the rest of it's easy. You're so used to it at that point. A big thing is, the schools try to force college upon everyone, and that's not a bad thing, but with the reserves, you can go this summer, you'd go for the Marines, our boot camp is 13 weeks long, you go for 13 weeks, you'd come back, they pay for 40% of your college right there. As long as you were serving, they'll pay for 40% of your college, and that's reserves. And so for reserves, 1 weekend out of the month and 2 weeks out of the summer, you would go down and train, and you get paid for that too. But for active, they pay for 100% of it. And another thing is, everyone thinks you have to go and shoot. You're gonna go get shot at, you're gonna go shoot people. That's what everyone always thinks. And like I said,
I'm going as an aviation mechanic.
he's gonna work on planes and computers. He probably will never see combat unless he gets extremely unlucky.
And then that's good too, because I'll have airplane, experience. I can go work for like an airport,
Boeing, he can work for big airplane companies. Again, with the physical, everyone thinks, and I mean, we're kind of bad examples because we've been working out almost 3+ times a week with our recruiters for over a year now.
Before I joined, I could only do like 5 pulls.
I was at 1 pull-up before I joined.
And as soon as you sign the papers, then your recruiter will help you go through physical training, mental training, and just different kind of knowledge tests. So you'll be somewhat prepared for boot camp and,
What is the area of concentration you're looking at, Cameron?
I'm doing infantry, so
Infantry.
I'm again a bad example because I'm probably gonna go overseas.
Yeah, well, I mean, it all depends too on what
What's going
happens
on.
in the future and things like that too, so.
Well, just with ISIS and all that right now,
Mhm.
they're causing problems.
Well, I also think too that at least the last few times we've been in conflicts, boots on the ground tends to be a last.
Oh, yeah.
A last
We don't-
resort,
We don't
really.
like doing it because obviously we're then putting people from our country at risk, and
Mhm.
it kind of gives us a bad rep too, and we don't want to go over there and hurt people if we don't have to.
Mhm. Very nice job.